This is the elimination method in order to solve a system of equations. How do we find the solution to a system of equations? Remember, the first two methods we used were graphing and the substitution method. Today we're going to review the linear combination or elimination method, and you'll hear it called both titles, but I'll call it the elimination method. So in the elimination method, we add equations together to eliminate a variable, substitute that variable into an original equation to get the other variable, and we may need to multiply by a scalar to get there. Let's do a few examples. Example 1. Got 5x plus y equals 6, negative 5x plus 3y equals negative 22. Again, my method to solve is to add them together so that a variable is going to cancel. In this case, the x's are going to cancel. 5 plus a negative 5 is 0. I now have 4y's equals a negative 16. So y equals negative 4. My last step to solve for x, I'm going to plug our new y into an original equation and solve. So I'll just choose that first equation, 5x plus y equals 6. So 5x, when I add that negative 4 over, gives me 10. Dividing by 5, x is 2. And we'll list my solution as an ordered pair, 2, negative 4. So this system had one solution, and we found it by using the elimination method. Example 2. This time, when I add these equations together, nothing's going to cancel out. So I need to multiply one of these by some number so that either the x's or the y's will cancel. Well, I like to find one that is going to be the easiest. Okay, so looking at this second equation, if the coefficient on the x was a negative 3, it would cancel with the positive 3x from the first equation. So if I multiply the second equation by 3, I now have negative 3x plus 9y equals negative 15. And if I add the first equation, 3x minus 4y equals negative 5, my x's cancel, leaving me with 5y equals negative 20 and y equals negative 4. Now, again, substitute back into one of the original equations. So I'm just going to choose that first one again, 3x minus 4y, where y is negative 4, equals negative 5. 3x plus 16 equals negative 5. So 3x equals negative 21, and x then equals negative 7. So my solution, negative 7, negative 4. So if we quick review this example, I had a system where when added together originally, the variables would not cancel, so I multiplied the second equation by some number in order to get something to cancel. Now in our third example, okay, there's no way to multiply one equation by a number, by a whole value, in order to get one of the variables to cancel. So in this case, I'm going to multiply them both by some number. Okay, and it doesn't have to be the same number. It can be any number that we want for either equation. Okay, so if I look at the coefficients on the x, 2 and 3, those are both a factor of 6. So that's an easy way to get these to cancel. Make the coefficient on the x in each equation a 6, where one of them is positive and one of them is negative. So if I multiply the first one by -3, the coefficient on the x will then be -6. Okay? If I multiply the second one by 2, the coefficient on the x is now a +6. So when I multiply these through, my x's will eventually cancel out. Let's go ahead and multiply these. So the first equation, when multiplied by -3, becomes -6x plus 21y equals 30. And my second equation, 6x plus 4y equals 20. When I add these, again, my x's now cancel. And I get 25y equals 50 and y equals 2. Now, I could have chose any numbers that I wanted to. I'm just trying to make this process as simple as possible. Remember my last step to solve for x, take this new y and substitute back into an original equation for y. I'm going to choose the first equation. 2x minus 7y, where y is 2, equals -10. 2x minus 14 equals -10. When adding 14 over, I get 2x equals 4 and x equals 2. So the one solution to my system is 2, 2. Okay, last example here. Okay, noticing that my first equation, okay, if I can multiply that one up to make the x's cancel. So I'm going to multiply by -4. So I now have -8x plus 20y equals -28. When I add these together, my x's and my y's cancel. Equals -26. We haven't seen these types of solutions yet, but remember from the last video, when I get a false statement, my answer is no solution.